Objection sustained. Rephrase the question.
Mr. Anthony, you met yesterday with the prosecutors in this case, did you not?
Yes, for a brief period of time. I talked to Mr. Ashton, yes.
And you spoke to Mr. Ashton about the testimony today?
Briefly, yes. We just discussed how I would be basically questioned by the state, by him, and there was no exact questions or anything like that. We just went over a generality of things. Yes, sir.
So you were prepped and
no, sir, I was not prepped. No, that's a misconception. I was not prepped. I was just told that I'd possibly, or it looked like I'd be the first person called, and that we would talk about my granddaughter, and we've done that.
How long did you meet with Mr. Ashton?
About an hour, roughly. I'm just roughly guessing.
And he told you the questions he was going to ask you?
No, sir. I already answered that.
Just a second. He's answered the question, so objection overruled at this point.
Now,
Just a second. Ladies and gentlemen, the jury, the court at an appropriate time in talking about judging the credibility of witnesses, the court will instruct you it is entirely proper for a witness to discuss their testimony with their attorneys prior to them coming into court, and that a witness should not be discredited by talking to an attorney. Instruction will read exactly: it is entirely proper for a lawyer to talk to a witness about the testimony the witness would give if called into the courtroom. The witness should not be discredited by talking to a lawyer about his or her testimony. You may continue.
you currently have a lawyer, do you not?
Yes, I do.
And within 24 hours of reporting Kaylee missing, you had a lawyer then by the name of Paul Kelly, did you not?
Overruled at this point.
Mr. Paul Kelly is a workers' comp attorney. I did seek his advice when this first occurred because I had no one else to turn to. And with him having legal knowledge, yes, I did, but I did not retain him. He was there just as, we brought him in as a friend to help us through the first hour, the first few days, whatever it's going to be. We'd never retained him. He was there just to counsel us through something, help us go in the right direction if we needed some kind of assistance.
You sought legal advice from him within 24 hours of calling law enforcement, did you not?
We had Mr. Kelly to our house the day that we first met you at our house. If I am pretty much on point with that. Prior to that, I never talked to Mr. Kelly.
You sought legal advice from Mr. Kelly. Is that a yes? I didn't ask you when.
I will answer that yes right now.
And that was within 24 hours of calling the police in this case.
It possibly could have been within a 24-hour period. I'm not sure. Okay, I'll say yes at this point.
And then after you mentioned he's not a criminal defense lawyer, then you retained a criminal defense lawyer subsequent to him, did you not?
You may.
Now, Mr. Anthony, you stated that you never had any duct tape. Is that correct?
I didn't say anything about duct tape.
Are you aware of the duct tape that's involved in this case?
I was made aware of it some time ago. I can't the exact nature of how I got to have knowledge of duct tape. I could have seen it on the internet or some discovery that was left out there. I'm not really sure.
You're not sure?
I'm not sure of the exact timeline. I mean, I understand that there was some duct tape that's part of this trial, part of this case.
You sat right over there while I gave my opening statement, did you not?
Yes, sir, I did.
So you know exactly what I'm referring to, do you not?
Objection, relevance.
Sustained, you can ask them about duct tape, but you can't ask them about your opening statement. Opening statement is not evidence. Next question.
You understand what the issue is, correct? You've seen the duct tape that we're referring to?
Yes.
Now, you told Mr. Ashton that you never had any duct tape. Were you in possession of that duct tape?
I don't remember that duct tape, whatever you're talking about, I remember that being exactly at my home. I mean, I've had tapes and stuff for many years. I mean, I've purchased duct tape at different places. I'm not...
Henkel brand duct tape.
Sustained, Mr. Anthony, would you finish answering the question, please, sir?
That specific one, if that was at my house, then I guess that could be considered, yes, in my possession. I had knowledge of it.
And you did not put the duct tape on that gas can, correct?
Objection, so.
Sustained.
Were you in possession of that duct tape at the public supermarket, the command center, while you were passing out flyers of your missing granddaughter?
Objection, so.
Sustained.
Judge, may we approach?
No.
Mr. Anthony, when did you first find out that your car was towed?
Objection, so.
Overrule as to that question.
When I first found out about our Pontiac Sunfire had been towed, we had received a notice through the United States Postal Service. See, like a yellowish color tag, probably about the size of this. And it just had our name on it, the person who had sent it, and it was available to be picked up, at the local post office where we get our mail delivered from.
Did you understand my question, sir? My question was,
When I first got notice of it,
when did you first know or find out that your car was towed? What date?
I believe it was Sunday, the 13th of July. It was on a Sunday.
And you picked up the car on the 15th.
Objection, beyond the scope of your examination.
Overrule.
You picked up the car on the 15th.
Yes.
And when you picked up the car, did you advise anyone that your granddaughter was missing?
If I remember correctly, when I was walking around the car with the gentleman at the tow yard, and after realizing that I hadn't seen my granddaughter for nearly a month, and I hadn't had a lot of contact with my daughter within that month, I was concerned when I seen the car being towed there, when I saw the car had been towed there.
Did you advise anyone that your granddaughter was missing when you picked up the car?
No, not at that time. I didn't say she was missing, no.
You didn't tell anyone that you hadn't seen your granddaughter?
What I said to the tow gentleman that was there, I don't remember his name off the top of my head. It was when we were walking around the back of the car. I didn't verbally say it out loud. I think I said it in a very soft tone, that I hope this is not my daughter or my granddaughter or both, because of the way the car smelled.
And that smell was the smell of human decomposition.
Objection, exceeds the scope.
Sustained.
After you smelled that smell, sir, what did you do?
Mr.
Yes, sir.
Baez.
Judge, until this witness is called for further testimony, I have no questions.